A few vlogs ago, I had a Lego Stormtrooper photo shoot on some of the nature dioramas we were building in the shop. I had so much fun working on that, and then I thought, why don't I just make an entire toy commercial? I grew up in the late 80s and loved the constant stream of toy commercials. So in today's blog, I'm going to show you how to shoot your own 80s toy commercial. With random clunky action figures. And use Adobe Premiere's built-in video effects to simulate old VHS footage. Where the hell am I? First, you need some action figures. Now, you could go to the store and buy brand new ones, but I recommend finding one of your friends that still lives with their parents and just stealing them out of their attic.
I don't know what that one's called, but its name is probably really racist.
First, write a script. Figure out every visual gag you want to shoot. Do some video research. There are hours, if not days, of 80s commercials on YouTube. I've been watching 80s commercials for 6 hours. It's 3 in the morning, and I crave Fruit Loops. The majority of action figure commercials have the same things in common. Excited kids playing with toys with their hands in the shot, an announcer that yells at the screen, environments that didn't come with the sets, and pictures of each set at the end of the commercial. Figure out where you're going to shoot. I had the rare opportunity to be able to shoot on giant rock ground forms because of where I work, but you can take advantage of parks surrounding you, giant rocks, and sunlight. Go outside, lay on the ground. Alright, here we go. Have your friends help you. Jordan and Jason were awesome help, being the hand models and just banging action figures together all afternoon.
Well, that's harsh. Oh my god.
Once shooting is wrapped, set up a photo shoot for your action figures. Divide them into smaller sets just like you would purchase them in the store. You don't need a professional studio for this. You just need some desk lamps and some butcher paper. And several hours of editing. I shot these in my hamper. Then record a theme song or do an a cappella version of an existing song. I have a fever and I'm recording a theme song for a 90s commercial parody. Get your friends to do voices. I hired professional voice actor Matt Shivers to do a spot-on yelling announcer voice.
It's Robot Car! Robot Car!
The more people you can bring in on this project, the more you can spread the enthusiasm around.
Double team it!
Sound can make or break a short film. This one required lots of shotguns and explosions, so it was very unlikely that I'd be able to shoot this in my backyard. Fortunately, there's a website called freesound.org that has everything you'll ever need. Once your footage is compiled, you'll need to make it look like it was found on an old VHS tape of Saturday morning cartoons. Now, there are a lot of plugins out there that can do this, but here's one way you can do it using existing filters inside Adobe Premiere Creative Cloud. First, make a Photoshop layer with black bars on the side. Delete the background layer so the center is clear. These will cover the sides of your footage and replicate the aspect ratio of old television. Once you've edited your footage down to just what you need, put this layer on top of it and nest both of them. This will allow you to apply effects to both the footage and the bars. Go to Video Effects and find Fast Color Corrector. You're going to use this to blow out the highlights. Change the settings to roughly these. Now go to Noise and Grain and drag noise over. This will add an animated static filter. 2% works pretty well for what I'm working with. Now find Channel Blur under Blur and Sharpen. These allow you to do the video equivalent of bad registration on a crappy printer and distort one of the 3 colors that make up light. I'm setting the red blur to 31 and horizontal so it only blurs left and right. This will add a shadow around the highlights and figures that move around in the frame. Now go to Adjust and Shadow Highlight. This loosely lightens the dark areas and darkens the light areas. When used to extremes, it looks like crappy HDR photos. For this one, we just need it to be Shadow 6, Highlight 0. Adjust as desired. You can also add little offset stripes of video on the bottom by duplicating your layer and cropping it. On some of the old footage I've seen, a faint blue glow is seen favoring one edge of the screen. I didn't want to add a static layer on top, I wanted it to dynamically change based on the video. You can do this by duplicating your video layer without any effects. Then go to Color Correction and Color Balance HLS, that's Hue, Lightness, Saturation. Change the hue to 179, lightness -11, then apply a directional blur. You can make some cool effects just by distorting existing video with this. But for this one, we just have it at direction 0, blur length 98. Then crop the top off. The order you stack your effects greatly changes the final video. Putting crop on top works best with the fade out caused by the blur. And then you can lower the opacity as desired. Don't worry about how accurate your settings are, just have fun and don't be afraid to add a little weirdness.